Hello and welcome back to Country Names and Their Etymologies. By now I'm betting you're fed up with quarantine, so let us take a small trip around the world. If you missed the previous episodes, check out this playlist. And while you do that, consider subscribing. There are hundreds of videos you can check out on this channel, so you might want to stick around. The first country we dig into today is Libya. Once upon a time, this name designated the desert region west of the Nile up to the Fazzan plateau. This name is the Latin form of the Greek Libya, which in turn originates from Rbw, an ancient Berber tribe that inhabited this particular region. This is truly an ancient name, since even ancient Egyptian chronicles mention these tribes as Rbw. At one point in the classical world, this name got popular and came to designate the whole African continent. But in time it fell out of use, until 1903, when Italian geographer Federico Minutilli brought it back. 30 years later, the term Libya was adopted by Italian authorities who conquered the region from the Ottomans. The idea was to supplant the old name, the Ottoman Eyalet of Tripolitania, which has been in use since 1551. It worked, and Libya became the name of the country that stands there today. Somewhere in Europe, there's a teeny tiny country with less than 40,000 people living in it, but with a beauty that's tough to match: Liechtenstein. The country gets its name from its founders, the Liechtenstein dynasty. This family originated from the Liechtenstein castle in Lower Austria, and although powerful, had very little influence in the imperial diet of the Holy Roman Empire. For this reason, they bought the lordship of Schellenberg and county of Vaduz, which had no feudal tenures, thus having the emperor as their immediate sovereign. This way, in 1719, these lands were united and were immediately elevated to the status of a principality, thus becoming a sovereign member of the Holy Roman Empire. The name itself is of course of German origin, meaning bright stone. This refers to the light colors of the rocks used to build the castle. We stay in Europe, but go up to the north. Here is the country of Lithuania. The first mention of this name came in 1009 as the Latinized form Litua of the name Lietua. There's little evidence to give a proper explanation of this name. One possible source is the small river Lieta in what was the core area of the early Lithuanian state. However, although not unprecedented, it is quite unlikely that such a small river would lend its name to an entire nation. On the other hand, this word is present in other forms in all Indo-European languages, and all have something to do with water. Another microstate in Europe is Luxembourg. Initially called the County of the Ardennes, this nation's history began with the purchase of the Lucillenburg castle by Count Siegfried in 963 AD. Lucillenburg means little fortress. It derives its name from the Celtic Lucillem, meaning small, cognate with German Lützel and English little. Berg is the Germanic word for a fortress with the same etymology as the English borough and ultimately deriving from Indo-European Berg, meaning high. Lucillenburg later morphed into Lützelburg in German and Lützeburg in the local language, which is how it's still pronounced today. The French form, that was adopted by most nations in the world, came to be used due to the cultural influence France had in Europe since the 17th century. One of Africa's most famous countries is the island nation of Madagascar. As is the case with many other African countries, this place got its name due to European interference. It was the Venetian explorer Marco Polo who got it wrong this time. Madagascar is the corrupted transliteration of Mogadishu, the Somali port and today capital of Somalia. Marco Polo confused this island with the place and named it Madagascar. Even though later it was obvious that Madagascar is not Mogadishu, the name stuck anyway. To be fair though, there are no recorded previous names of this island as a whole, only local designations of some parts of it. Not far from Madagascar is the country of Malawi. It's named after Lake Malawi, one of the largest and deepest freshwater lakes in the world. It's possibly based on a native word, Malawi, meaning flaming water, referring to the sun's dazzling reflections of the lake's surface. Hastings Banda, the founding president and dictator of the country, named the place Malawi instead of keeping the old colonial Nyasaland. He said he saw a Lac Maravi on an old French map and he liked that name. His influence at the time was so great that the name stuck and became official. Lastly, we go to Southeast Asia, to the lovely country of Malaysia. This is the land of the Malays, the literal translation of the name. Malay or Melayu people are an Austronesian ethnic group whose name originates from the Sungai Melayu River in Sumatra, meaning to accelerate, referring to the rapids of the river. The Sumatran Kingdom of Malayu later adopted this name and became associated with this ethnic group. By the way, a Malaysian is a citizen of the country regardless of ethnicity, while a Malay is a member of this ethnic group. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Tell me what you think about it downstairs and do hit that subscribe button if you want to see more episodes. If you really enjoyed this, there's a Patreon page where you can support my work. I hope to see you next time. Bye.